The company I will be analyzing today is Uber. Some background on this company is that Uber is a peer-to-peer ride-sharing food delivery and transportation network company. Uber was originally founded as Uber Cab in March 2009 in San Francisco by the CEO, Travis Kalanick, and Garrett Camp. This launch in San Francisco made a great splash for the company eventually changing its name from Uber Cab to what we know it now as Uber. Uber as well has been growing since its launch. The company has spread like wildfire all around the globe. Currently it operates in 58 countries. Uber's strengths at the company come from its ability to allow customers to call a ride up using just an app on a smartphone, and it is very efficient and technological. Some basic services offered by Uber include Uber Black, which offers customers with a black luxury vehicle, Uber Kids, which provides a car with a child safety seat, Uber Pets, which includes the ability for pet transport, Uber Pool, which is a cheaper option that allows up to 2 passengers to share a vehicle with other passengers, Uber XL, which provides riders with a larger car that can seat up to 6 passengers, Uber WAV, which offers a wheelchair accessible vehicle, Uber Boat, which is a water taxi service, Uber Copter, which is a helicopter service, and most recently Uber Eats, which delivers foods to customers. And so many more services are offered by Uber as well. For this analysis, I'm going to interview 3 employees from Uber. I will ask questions related to the company's SWOT analysis, or its major strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. I will then get into questions regarding Uber's key success factors, as well as some diversification factors, and how to accomplish these factors and control them. And I will as well touch base on different key issues associated with Uber: the business level strategy, the corporate level strategy, some innovative technologies used within the company, as well as some risks associated with Uber.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much, Anna. Most pleasant Uber ride I have ever had. Love the music.
What a great conversation. A lovely man with a personality that will brighten your day.
You should absolutely be in the entertainment business. You have an outstanding personality.
I can't believe it.
Oh, man. Oh, my God. This is unbelievable.
Manager of Communications from the Boston, Massachusetts branch for Uber. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I just have a few questions for you. So for the SWOT analysis is important for any business to create a strong platform to start with. What are some of the strengths that Uber has from a strength perspective in its transportation market?
So from the consumer perspective, they have little competition in the ride service industry. This gives them a large portion of the market share in general. They were the first taxi service app of its kind, which means that they have little operational costs due to the fact that all their interactions are done between the customer and the driver. There are differences between them and the traditional taxi services. They do not abide by normal taxi regulations, and they can have an unlimited fleet of vehicles. Uber tends to have lower prices, they have online cash payments, and they have a dual rating feature, which lets both the driver and the customer rate each other. This is how we build trust in our drivers and make them feel more safe during their ride with Uber.
So, given that the customers or the riders have a good amount of strengths, what are some advantages drivers have at your company?
From a driver's perspective, we believe their biggest strength is their freedom and their flexibility with their part-time jobs. Drivers also make up their own hours and work whenever they want. The driver does not have to take every customer that comes their way, and they can also choose to decline a client if they so choose.
Okay, so as I've researched, a lot of people are happy with the flexibility your company provides. Could you tell me some of your company's core weaknesses?
Uber's idea as a company can be very easily imitated, and I think that's our biggest weakness in general. Lyft offers the same services, and they're not different at all. They're virtually the same. Because of this, market entry is very low. Uber's business model is also unpredictable. It's not easy for Uber to determine the business they will receive from customers, as well as the amount of workers for Uber in certain areas. The services for customers are all based off of who is willing to drive and where. The higher supplier power, without them, they would have no profit for the company.
In today's business environment, sustaining growth and profitability is never a guarantee. What would you say are some opportunities your company has taken both in the past and in the near future?
What we've taken in the past, we started Uber because customers were often dissatisfied with traditional taxi cab companies, as I said before. They have higher prices and long waiting time. We have the additional services like transporting older patients to hospitals, transporting children to school, and transporting pets to the vet can also be offered. We also, another opportunity that we avoid drunk driving, which keeps the roads ultimately more safe than they were. Also, in the future, we'd like to invest in foreign markets. Here we can tap growing markets in suburban areas where taxi services may not be available already. Also, we'd like to tackle the rise in the number of Uber drivers, which can reduce the estimated time of arrival and make it more accessible and easy for people to get around. This will also make Uber more liked in the long run. The startup will have more revenue and drivers will end up being more profitable as well. Uber can increase the validation. This might appeal to more investors. As a result, Uber will have more money to operate their app and get their drivers out there.
Okay, so would you be able to tell me some ways that you could go through some of these opportunities for Uber?
From a company perspective, ways to get funding for some of those opportunities is to go public in the stock market to get funding. That's an opportunity to get the shareholders more involved, and we'd be able to invest time and money in self-driving and electric cars. From a consumer perspective, to understand your demand, you must identify the customer segments and that share common interests. So from hard variables such as age, gender, place of residence, educational level, and level of income. From the soft variables, we'd like to tackle mostly the lifestyle, the attitude, and the values of the motivations. Here we'd like to focus more on the lifestyle of America. We appeal to high-paced people who are always on the run and satisfying those customers' needs. From a competitor perspective, it is important to keep one step ahead of the competitors, having different and new features. Our newest feature on our app is the ride sharing, which is more convenient for the driver. Taking more than one customer from place to place ultimately saves time, and from the consumer perspective, it reduces traffic.
Okay, thank you so much. It was nice meeting with you today.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Oh my God! Oh, wow! I grew up here in Richmond. I have 5 brothers, 2 sisters. We were all raised by a single mom. Our mother was an entertainer, and she played music all the time. She would go around the house and sing, taught us how to sing. So music has always been a very important part of my life. When I'm driving, I always play music. I wanted to have people relax, so I start playing smooth jazz, real soft, quieting, calming music. That music really does something to you. You can just sit back, relax, you got a driver, she's singing to you, they're looking out the window and they're like, you know, this is really cool. I've sung for writers before and they enjoyed it. I love musicals. You ever heard of The Lion King? Oh my God, I've seen that 17 times. I love that show. I did a show here in the local community center that allowed me to put on a performance in dedication to my mom and her introducing us to music. It was fun. Riding with Anna is a piece of heaven. Her playlists help transition for work to chill. Super soothing and jazzy. I didn't know that was there. Oh my God! Oh, wow!
Welcome to the Castro Theater.
Hi Anna, I'm Jelani Remy and I play Simba in The Lion King on Broadway.
Oh my
Wish I could be there with you right now, but I have to get ready to perform tonight. We hear you've seen the show 17 times. How about seeing it an 18th time? In the Philippines. Sending you and a friend on a trip to go see the show. Keep rocking those great sounds in your car, and we can't wait for you to see the show. Bye.
I'm meeting with the Global Consumer Analyst from the Boston, Massachusetts branch for Uber. How are you today?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good. I just have some questions for you. So, could you tell me 2 key factors that have led to Uber's success?
Well, I really think that it's a great alternative to drunk driving. Instead of people driving themselves, they could leave their car wherever they have been drinking and they could get an Uber really quick, take them home. It really keeps our roads really safe. And also, I think another great success factor is that it's really easy to become an Uber driver, and it's a great side job for our drivers.
Okay, would you be able to tell me more about how Uber was able to accomplish these success factors?
Yeah, it's a great alternative to regular taxi services. A lot of people sometimes don't like taxi services. They have to hunt one down, first of all, in a city. Uber, you just call the Uber driver to you wherever you are. And our drivers are really great to our customers. Some of them even provide food and water and drinks for our customers. So if they were out drinking, you know, it gives them a little something to help them calm down a little bit. Also, they tend to be safer than actual taxis because of our dual rating system. We hire competent drivers who have gone through background checks. And also, like I said earlier, it was super easy to become a driver, and it's a great side job because you drive your own car, you make your own hours, and you only take the rides you want to take. So if someone wants to go all the way across town and you don't want to, you don't have to take the person there. So, yeah.
Okay. Could you tell me a bit about the technologies Uber has used to make their business so successful?
Well, our main piece of technology obviously is the app. It's first of its kind to use the app to call a taxi to you. Pretty much all you do is you say you want an Uber driver, and it will show you how far away a driver is, when they're going to be there. It uses GPS to pinpoint where you are so the driver can find you. Also, the dual rating system, you rate the driver and the driver rates you, so it really keeps people safe. They can see how great the driver is. You know, if you see a driver coming that doesn't have a great rating and you're a little scared, you can cancel your ride. Also, the cashless transactions. Everything is done through the app. You put your debit card or your credit card in, you pay the driver through that. We don't even tip drivers with cash at the end of the ride. It's all completely cashless.
Okay, and is there any technology that Uber is planning on using in the future?
Well, we're really trying to help perfect the autonomous car, which is a driverless car. We already have some on the road, and they've been doing pretty well. We have had some issues with some that ended up in the news, but other than that, we're really trying to help this whole driverless car idea.
Well, great. It was really nice meeting with you today.
I can't believe it. My wife and I are both from the Northwest, from Seattle. We got married at Seattle University 60 years ago, I'd like to mention. I found the right one, man, I'm hanging on. From there, I went on the ships to Hawaii. On the cruise, I was entertainment director. The owner of the Sahara Hotel was on board. One day he said, would you like to go to Las Vegas? The following day, he interviewed me and hired me as entertainment director for the Sahara Hotel. It's exciting, and I got to know some good friends. Pat Boone and I became very close for many, many months while he was there. Wonderful man. And he did give me a nice watch. It says, Freddie, remember Rosita, many thanks, Pat Boone. The luckiest thing that happened to me was my daughter came along and she said, Dad, why don't you Uber? And I said, well, I don't know about that. I'll check it out. Boom, 2 days later she got me enrolled and I started Ubering. The main thing I like about Uber is I'm talking to people, in particular long hauls. In that time, you have an experience with these people, you know, and it just seems like 10 minutes. When a person gets in there, if they immediately go to their phone, I just keep my mouth shut. But if they want to converse, man, I'm there like a pig. best driver ever. We can all take a lesson from the most positive, energetic 80-year-old I've ever met. That's a nice thing to say. You never think about age. I'm lucky. When I wake up in the morning, everything's working right. Hey, feel like $1 million. But never thought about the age.
Fred. Hey, do you recognize me, Fred?
I'm looking for the name.
You look just like the Fred I remember from Las Vegas.
Oh my God. I can't believe this.
Hey,
Give me a hug. Oh my God.
have you still figured out who I am?
Yes, you're Pat Boone. I can't believe it.
Now this is...
That's my wife.
That's your wife.
Mary.
Boy, were we young then.
I know, isn't it amazing?
We had no idea what lay ahead.
We also never thought we'd live this long. You and your manager gave me this watch.
I remember. Oh, yes, I remember it well.
Isn't that something?
Wow.
Aren't these stories neat?
Yeah.
When you flash back on them?
Yeah,
It's part
yeah,
of your
they-
life. Really? This day is the nicest day I've had in my entire life.
Good to be with you.
An analytics and insight manager from the Boston, Massachusetts branch. How are you today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I just have a few questions for you. So you specialize in determining Uber's business and corporate level strategies. What is the difference between the two?
So a business level strategy indicates the choice a firm makes and how it will compete within certain markets. It's important to give a competitive advantage to stay relevant within that product market. The key to having a successful business strategy is having a loyal customer base that buys your product or service. A business picks this strategy when they want to focus on a single product market in a single geographical location. A corporate level strategy, on the other hand, is a decision which affects the big picture of the company. So this can include deciding which product or service markets should use to be competed with. This also includes the geographic boundaries of the organization's operation. On a corporate level, Uber uses a value-creating diversification strategy. This is the case because with the current market, Uber has the ability to enhance the quality of its services by improving the company's application platformation, by also increasing the diversification of the company.
So would you be able to tell me a little bit more about Uber's business level strategy?
Sure. So when a company is selecting a business strategy, we have to ask ourselves who will be served, what needs those target customers have, and how we can satisfy them. So in the instance of Uber, we're serving those that are 18 years old and above and in need of quick and accessible transportation. Other needs that we need to satisfy include lower prices than our competition and good quality drivers. These needs will be satisfied by coming up with a better pricing strategy so we can compete with companies like Lyft. Good quality drivers will come as a result of extensive background checks and over-the-phone interviews. With this strategy, it is important to manage relationships with customers and create value to the foundation that you build with them. The closer you work with the customer, the more satisfaction it will ultimately bring them. Ways Uber currently does this is because riders can rate their drivers that take them from place to place. Because they have an input, the customer feels like they have a say in how the business runs. Ways they can involve the customer more is sending follow-up surveys to frequent and loyal customers. This would not only rate our drivers, but the overall experience that we provide them. Loyalty programs may also be a good way for us to bring in loyal customers by offering promotions like after every 10th ride, you get an 11th ride free. And if you invite your friend to download Uber's free app, you get 40% off your ride. So the purpose of a business strategy is to make your company have a competitive advantage from the industry or the market itself. There are 5 types of business strategies, and Uber currently fits into the differentiation bracket. They have a wide range of services that satisfy many needs around the world, from food delivery services to Uber boats to luxury Uber cars that could pick up from 4 to 8 people. Their variety is the advantage in the market. However, the variety of service isn't cheaper than their competitors' prices overall. So if we choose to take a cost leadership approach to this strategy, we would knock out our competition completely. With this, we will have the most options with the lowest prices available.
So anything you can tell me about Uber's corporate level strategy?
The key behind the diversification strategy for Uber is adding value to its products and services. Presently, Uber is diversifying into many different areas around the world. It is also at its peak growth and diversification stage. So by utilizing this strategy, we're attempting to seek out an edge over our competitors in the market. With a span over 5 years, Uber currently operates in 57 countries and in more than 300 cities worldwide. Diversification is a goal Uber wants to expand on. This is the case because more than 95% of its revenues come from one business unit, which connects the riders with the drivers. This, however, did not affect Uber too much during the company's early growth stages. Uber has found ways to be very successful in the business cycle with its initial launch of application. This being said, it was assumed that Uber needs to better grow the company before any further changes or grow with diversification were made. Instead of diversifying within the company, Uber took the approach of making the company more worldwide. This growth is apparent throughout the current expansion into more Asian markets around the world.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
It was
you.
really nice speaking with you.
Thank you, you too.
In conclusion, today I interviewed 3 employees from Uber. We learned a lot about SWOT analysis, or major strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, both currently and for the future. Uber is completely changing the industry that was available before them. This being said, Uber has many key factors associated with its success in this specific taxi industry. This includes benefits the customers have when using Uber. Uber is said to be a problem solver for riders. It acts as a reliable source that people can count on to always be there when they need to get from place to place. The future for Uber is optimistic and sure to grow at a fast rate because of this increase in demand.